Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know what episode it is, but welcome to the first episode of year 6 of the Geek First podcast. I'll get that number for you. Year 6. It's crazy. We're past the 5. I wanted to, well, you know what? I am the best podcast machine. Trust now.
Wow. I am the ghost, Kirklin Patzer. I'm just going to take Jessica's name. I totally forgot that was actually her name, so I should say the samurai, Kirklin Patzer. Yeah, good recovery, good recovery.
I am
worse name.
I'm the predator samurai.
It could be that name.
Taylor
That's
Field.
worse than samurai.
The good thing you just, yeah.
I'm the predator.
I'm the
Predator
Especially the way
DLC.
he said it. I'm the
That throws me
Predator.
back to Kyle's nickname. He had that one X-Men retro. Or no, yeah, because we were rating. Remember
the rate master.
the rate master.
And me and Kirkland did not
He
hear
slurred.
the T.
He slurred his words a little bit. Even when you listen back on it, like he for sure mumbled. So.
Oh yeah, I thought. Oh yeah, he always does that where he'll say something wrong. He's like, "No, I didn't say that." Just like, did you listen to that one where he's like, he says like the girl in distress, and it's like he meant like damsel in distress, but he's telling us like, "No, I said it right." Go back as I want to thank everyone that tuned in to our
it's recorded.
But yeah, we have our best of the 5 years up there. Some pre-retro casts you can go look back at, and then our 5-year cast. Thank you everyone that tuned in that. Fun's a ton.
Fun's a ton.
Tons of fun. I'm exhausted. I just did a 3 hour podcast, but you know I'm here for you, the fans.
You get
We're
no
gonna rock
break.
it. No
We
break.
expect.
That's podcast machine.
Yeah, that's right.
We're doing between this GV and between Geek Ultimate Alliance. We're producing 11 podcasts next week. It's crazy. So as always, the network doing the same thing Monday and Friday. You got your Marvel, DC, Star Wars, whole shebang. Taylor, you just guessed it on Star Wars, right? You want to talk about that because we didn't really plug stuff out last week.
No, we didn't plug it at all.
No, not during the 5 year. Those are timeless casts.
Yeah, I had
My hair's a fucking mess.
My hair's a mess. I had
Yeah,
a
your hair's
haircut, you son of a bitch.
My hair's a mess.
No one's even complimented on my goddamn haircut.
I
I didn't wear a
said you
hat
look
all
beautiful.
day.
No,
Did you?
What did I say when I
No.
the
You
first
said I
thing I
looked
said?
beautiful, but you're
Yeah.
looking at my pants.
That's
or
true. I was
Your eyes were down.
I was
It's like
looking
my
at your
eyes are up
legs.
here,
Looking at
buddy.
his pearly whites, yeah. Your hair almost always looks the same. I could pull your Facebook profile picture right now, and it looks identical.
No, not a chance. Look at this.
Did you ever comment on my hair when I got my haircut?
I did.
Okay.
No, yeah, he's like, Travis looks like shit. And
Suspicious.
it's like, wow, Kirkland's our friend.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I had the great pleasure of being on Star Wars Alliance. It was their 3rd episode, I believe, and we just talked all things Thrawn, me, Katie, and Nathan. It was a heck of a time. I loved it, every second of it, and they did offer me to come back at some point. They didn't give me
He said
dates,
no.
though, so it's kind of. I hope they bring me back. I hope it's not like one of those things like, oh, we should hang out sometime, and then if I would awkwardly have been like, oh, what about tomorrow? And they're like, oh, no, I'm busy tomorrow, you know.
No, 2
Busy.
weeks from now. It's our network. We can just force you on there. I'll message
For-
her.
yeah.
I'll message her and be like,
You
"Guys,
want this $5? Huh?
what is that from?
The money that they earn from Patreon or whatever.
I thought it was like a movie reference.
I-
Is that what you thought?
I have no idea what you.
What's that from?
I have no idea. Taylor. Just
Anyways,
Taylor
I-
on different ways. Okay.
I have a big thing I do want to shout out. All you people that voted for Geek First Podcast as best local podcast of Kelowna.
No, let's skip that. Skip that.
I'm going to be
Not
shouting this out for a little bit, a little while here, because I think
failure.
no, we're not a failure. I just think it's awesome, and it's just a huge shout out to all of you guys because all we did was just register for this or get nominated for this. But oh my God, the door's closing by itself.
Yeah.
This was completely run by you guys, the fans. You know, we didn't really have much to do with this except just put our faith in you guys, and you guys all came out. You guys all voted, and it showed. You guys are the reason that we got
it showed.
silver.
It showed.
Travis hates that we got silver.
If you're not first, you're last.
I
We're
think the
last.
fact that we just, locally based, a lot of people in town don't know that we're a podcast. We're more well known in other places around the world. So just to kind of pop up in Kelowna locally and just kind of get a good, strong running on our first time in this competition and land that 2nd place, I think that's awesome. And I just think that now we've set that bar and we have to hit gold next year. And if we don't, then
What happens if we get bronze?
quit.
I
We
think
just
we
throw
quit
in the
now.
towel.
It's too late. We just retire. Number 2, not good enough. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like you were like a participation trophy receiver back in the day, weren't
Mhm.
you?
No, not at all. I think
No?
I
didn't
don't
even get
I
those?
don't advocate for that kind of stuff. I've known many people where it's just like even like if you get that
I gotta switch some things around. So maybe I can't. Oh, there's something I'm forgetting. There's a podcast. I'll get back to it. But then also next week we're gonna be dropping our superhero. The Ghost of Tsushima review. That's gonna be dropping next week as well. So Wednesday is Ghost of Tsushima. Thursday is Spider-Verse commentary track. And then Friday is we're going to be breaking down the Xbox game press conference. That'll also be coming out Thursday night. So if it's on the feed, you're late up, you can get it there. But Thursday, get your finger away from me, you damn dirty ape.
Damn dirty
So we're going to be doing that Thursday night / Friday morning. And then Friday morning also it's going to be dropping. But Thursday, as always, we'll tweet out on YouTube and Twitch. You can watch us live. Please interact. We're going to be dropping for the podcast our superhero draft, our 2020 edition. So this is working a little bit differently this year as far as instead of the competition ending, which I would have won, we're putting it for a whole year. So we're going to be keeping our 5 rosters. We'll go over that all on Friday. If you don't know what this episode is we draft 5 actors, actresses, and then have to get cast in a comic book role as far as Marvel, DC, TV, or movies. We get points for it. Dylan has won... Has he won both years? No, we had no winners the first 2 years, and then Dylan won one because Jake Gyllenhaal, so good for him. And then this year, because COVID, that kind of delayed some stuff, so I didn't want to get the win that way because they would have never let me hear because of COVID.
Yeah, fraudulent.
So
Asterisks.
we're extending it a year, but what we're doing is we're keeping our 5 people, our points. So Kirklin has a point for Kit Harington, I have a point for John Cena, so it's just like a longer competition, and then we're going to pick 5 more actors. So technically, we're going to have a roster of, you and me will only have a roster of 9 because we got points already, but we're going to have a roster of 10 people throughout the next year. So maybe next year we'll keep that. Maybe next year we'll just drop 5 and keep some and whatnot. So yeah, we got tons of stuff popping off for Comic-Con. Taylor, before you go, let me just shout this one last thing. It's Monday. I'm dropping a show that I've been working on for a while. It's called Batman You Complete Me. I've talked about this for a while. This is way before the network. It's going to be a monthly episode of just Batman dedicated content. It's going to be myself and Greg on the DC Alliance podcast. Me and him are big fans, but he's a guy that BVS is his favorite movie. Dark Knight's my favorite movie. So we're like very big Batman fans, but with a side of other coins. At some point, I thought about doing this solo, but when I met Greg and started talking to him, we had such different views. We're going to be like the Skip Bayless or Skip Sheffield, whatever the fuck his name is.
I think it's Skip Bayless.
Who's the other guy?
I want to say Stephen A. Smith.
No.
Okay.
Stephen Sharp? I don't know, but it's like that. We're going to have that dynamic.
Sports aren't on right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to have that dynamic, except it's going to be real. But yeah, we've already recorded the first episode, and that's why you can go to Patreon this weekend. You can get it early. $5 tier, $10 tier. You can get our exclusive commentary tracks. $15 tier. You can do a watch along with us, and we're going to have soon, me, Tanner Kirklin, and talking about BVS, do our commentary track. I think I have said everything. Taylor, put your finger back in the field.
So there's so much content coming out. Are you gonna have time to watch Nightmare on Elm Street with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My plan was probably because it's at like.
I got him.
I feel like this is an off-cast conversation, but that's
I was gonna
fine.
say this guy's bringing up group chat information in the.
He's giving the fans a little sneak
He's
peek
giving
into
our
lives.
financials away. Next time we have to part ways with a podcast person, they go, "What the fuck are you? Why are people messing up my chairs nowadays?"
What do you
Pick
mean?
that up.
What do you mean? Some people.
Pick it up,
Travis
I'm the
is
only one that does that.
triggered, ladies
I
and
am.
gentlemen.
But yeah, we can still see it because I think Thursday after cast, you guys will come here. We'll zoom down and we'll do those 2 casts, and then that movie's not till like 9:30.
So we're gonna do it on the Thursday now.
I don't know. Maybe the only why what's wrong with Thursday?
Oh, nothing. Do you work the next day?
No, but I don't know if I work the next day. So Thursday I know is a guaranteed I'm working in the daytime, and I know I have Thursday night. It either would have to be Monday night or Thursday night. Those are the 2 because I know I'm working nights. The other days are like we don't know yet, but those 2 days I know.
Okay, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I have nothing to say.
This is a newscast. We're going to talk about some Star Wars Day. We got a bunch of rumors, and I just got a question to ask these guys. Taylor's going to say yes, because of course it's Taylor. But Kirklin, I haven't heard his opinion on it. We got a trailer. Did you guys watch, Taylor, you watched
Chucky?
the Project Power trailer?
I did.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, you're going to have to fill us in because me and Kirklin both forgot to watch it before. I forgot.
Wow.
And I forgot to tell Kirklin.
I'm going to give these guys so much shit because they give me shit. I shouldn't even talk about it because you guys didn't watch it. That's what they'd say to me.
First one? Yeah, well, remember that one time you came to a fall review? You never played the game. You just sat there the whole time.
I was offering my support, and that was like year 1 of the podcast.
Remember the
So
time-
we didn't know what the hell
Remember
was
the
going
time that
on.
we had to see Jurassic World 2 and we didn't even do a review for it? Yeah, I'll never forget that one.
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah.
So-
that's all on Taylor. You'll never live that one down. Yeah. What else are we talking about today? Gotham PD. There's a Gotham TV show going to HBO, so a bunch of fun stuff. I'll pull it up. But Taylor, I'm going to start with you. There's some Hayden Christensen back.
We're skipping the Project Power. I thought we were going to talk about.
We're going to lead with the fucking Star Wars news.
Hook the people right in.
Yeah, that come in, and Hayden Christensen might be back for the Obi-Wan series. Now the rumor is it's not a cameo. He has an actual role. It's not known. It's been talked about he might be Vision. It might be flashbacks. It might be PTSD. And him being in the suit, some scoopers, and this is B tier, have reported that he's not planned to be in the suit. Others have. What do you think about this, Taylor? I got nothing else to add, you bastard.
You bastard. I think that him popping up in the series, I think, is very good because, I want to see Obi-Wan just, like, having the night sweats, and he's like,
Kirkman, at one point, I pitched that Obi-Wan should be like Logan, where he's like really downtrodden. He's like, no, Obi-Wan would never be like that. He's so
Who
fruitful.
said this?
You.
Did I really?
I have
Check
recorded
the
the transcripts.
That's gonna go on a shirt.
Check the transcripts. Okay.
That was good.
So I said that many times. I have recorded proof of podcast. And you're like, no. But now you've just completely adopted and stole my idea. And you never give me credit. You're not like, oh, you had a great idea. You're just like, well, I think,
This wasn't your idea.
With the PTSD, Obi-Wan down and out.
I'm sure someone else probably invented the idea first.
Oh, not to you though.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen on Google or something like
Google.
that.
Why is Google this handshake? Why is it touching loose breasts? Not like a 70-year-old or saggy balls.
Is that how you grab saggy balls like this?
Well, yeah, because they can come up so high now. You go,
Jesus.
Yeah, you like that? Haven't you heard what happens in hot tubs? Isn't that frightening, gentlemen?
What?
Like what they hear, like what happens to us as men when we get to like the 70s and everything, that it gets so saggy, it's like it float up and stuff.
I did not hear this.
Oh yeah, look into it.
This.
Get ready. We're so screwed.
I'm scared.
Oh yeah, it gets like
That's not happening to
Just
me.
enjoy him while you got him.
Hayden Christensen, steal my idea.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen. So, I mean, there's no other possible role for him to play unless it's like flashbacks. Because, I mean, he's not going to actually be like just Hayden Christensen on Tatooine again.
He
with
could
Obi-Wan.
be Vader, though.
He could be, and I think that's...
He could be half crispy as well.
He could be, yeah.
Remember that?
half
Before
crispy.
Look
suit.
what you did to me.
I think he could be like... I mean, the whole thing of him coming back as Vader, I think it's definitely a possibility. And I told Travis this, as much as I don't want it, I know I'm going to love it either way. So... I think that they should possibly not go the Vader route because I think the separation of them in Revenge of the Sith and then the facing of them again in A New Hope is just so symbolic and has so much power and emotion behind it that to add this story where Vader meets Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan's maybe off-world or something like that, I think it definitely takes away a lot of that impact because you have this 20-year gap where Obi-Wan has just dedicated his life of exile to protecting Luke. I think that's huge, and I just don't want that to be damaged by him breaking that exile and putting Luke at risk to leave Tatooine, go do something. And I know, Travis probably makes a good point in this that he probably will leave Tatooine or something will happen, and he'll have to compromise himself. But even when Maul showed up in Rebels and the two of them fought, like Obi-Wan was so composed and completely humble in the sense where
how close was that to Rebels, or how close was that to New Hope?
2 years, I believe.
Yeah, and this is only 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, though. Remember this series. So it's 30 years in between.
20 years.
20 years. So that means he has a whole 12 years to be like the nice old guy.
Yeah, that's true. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with and the story that they kind of tackle, I guess. But as far as Hayden Christensen goes, coming back, like I'd love to see him just pop back in. I think that's awesome.
The long curls.
Yeah, the long curls. I'm so down because, I mean, last I saw him, it would have been like Return of the Jedi special editions.
Oh, don't bring that up. I hate George Lucas for that shit.
You're pleased to know Empire Strikes Back. It had the extra CGI in the theater, but it was not. I don't think it was like special editions or anything. Because I don't even know how many versions of the original trilogy there are, but it had
like 3 or 4 now.
Oh, okay. It had like the extra like flying scene when they were going to Cloud City, but good experience. But
apparently, because I don't watch the special, I think I've only seen the special edition for New Hope. I have the last DVD copies they ever made of the OG trilogy on DVD. I've never seen the special editions of the other. I've seen like bits and pieces. I've seen the fucking Hayden Christensen ghosts. What? It's so stupid. But I always hear Empire's like the least touched. Like it's the least.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just an extra scene of them flying to Cloud City, and that's it.
Whoa!
So, but yeah, count me in for this Obi-Wan series.
You don't want it, but you'll like it.
Well, no, I want
That's
it.
what you just said. You
I
said
won't
No,
like-
I don't want Darth Vader in it, but I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
So, but I want the Obi-Wan series. I think it's been a long time coming, and it just
Contrasting
needs to
statement.
just pop up in front of me. But I think the cool thing is, I'm just gonna shout this out. We are literally like less than 3 months away from Mandalorian season 2. So honestly,
Yeah.
a trailer will probably be dropping anytime soon now because the trailer dropped 3 months before season 1.
Yeah, and I don't know if Kirkland's going to join us for this because me and Taylor are madmen. But what we're planning on doing before the season drops is we're going to do a commentary track of the entire season.
Oh
in
yeah,
a
we
day.
are.
So
Mm.
I'm not sure if you want to draw.
You're in.
It's not that long. Each episodes are only like half an hour. So what is it? There's like 6
Oh,
or 8.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's only like a 4-hour thing.
Yeah, so that'd be easy.
That
We've
wouldn't
done
be too
before.
hard.
Yeah, I think that'd be tons of fun, and then we can release them on the podcast feed as well for listeners. So I think we're gonna do that before.
All right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Put me down as a hard maybe.
hard maybe.
Hard
We're gonna
maybe.
kidnap
Not a
you.
soft maybe.
Hard.
Where did that come
Yeah,
from?
what were you
I
going
was
with
I
that?
was
You the
quoting
bus masturbator?
I was quoting a movie.
What movie now, Bill? What were you? I don't know. Kirkland.
You ever seen the movie Goon?
What? Actually, no, I haven't.
I have.
Yeah, remember he's like in the locker room. He's like hard Greek underground something
I don't even
porn
know.
hard, and he's like hard.
I don't even know what language you're speaking anymore.
So,
But,
Kirkland, do you want to see Hayden Christensen?
Hayden
come
Christensen, yeah. I don't think it'll be like solely Vader because I just don't see the point of them going through the effort of bringing Hayden Christensen back if they're just not going to show his face or whatever, and all they have is the voice. Because like Vader, anyone could
Back? What
be
am I
the voice.
doing? You're just in the suit, and
They use like a voice like changer too.
it's not even him. Yeah, he's just literally the stunt out for Vader. That's what's curious.
Oh.
He's just sitting there on the set, just like with the like. It's great to see you again, Ewan. And Ewan's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, so I could definitely see it being flashbacks, especially if, I mean, will he be Ben at this point? Is he like Ben right away, or does he like transition into
I
Ben?
think he has to it's the stupidest nickname ever. Who hide yourself? Oh, I'm Ben Kenobi. Like if I'm on the run trying to hide Travis Snell, I'm just like, oh, I'm Phil Snell. It's like, oh, well, are you related to Travis Snell? But
everyone-
not at all.
Everyone knew
Haven't
him
heard
by
that
his
name in a
first
long
name,
time.
That's
right?
even worse.
No, everyone knew him by his first name,
No.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, remember when
Old
he went
man
into
Ben.
Dex's diner and Dex is like, Obi-Wan.
No one knew him by Kenobi. So
Master Kenobi.
There's no fucking. Like,
Everyone that knew him by Kenobi is dead.
not Anakin.
Yeah, but Anakin's
And
gonna
he's with
hear
the Empire.
he's gonna hear old Ben. He's like, who the hell's old Ben? I don't care about an old
Ben
Ben.
Kenobi.
Okay, so what about
Oh, that's
Luke?
not the one I'm
What
after.
about Luke Skywalker?
He doesn't. Yeah, but here's the thing.
Oh,
he didn't,
yeah?
Yeah, he
Yeah?
didn't know
There's
who.
been two Skywalkers. There's Shmi Skywalker and him.
I know, but Luke never meant anything to him, like the name. He had no understanding
I know
of that.
motherfucker. It's
So
his name
Luke is
Skywalker.
safe. As for Skywalker, no one even heard of Skywalker on Tatooine because Luke was just this farm boy. So no one knew about him until he blew up the Death Star. When he blew up the Death Star, then he became a celebrity. So
Maybe.
that's
Or
why
prequels
Darth
can
Vader
change that.
Darth Vader wanted to like hunt him down and became obsessed with him. So
That was also the son too.
yeah.
Kirkland, so are you for this? Are you against it? What are you
I'm open to it. I don't want to say I'm for or against it because I feel like they
thinking?
could
Classic Kirkland, Switzerland.
so in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to support either way, but I feel like it can be done well, especially since those two. Say what you will about the prequels, like those two had some good chemistry on screen together.
Amazing. Chemistry.
Yeah, amazing. And God, I don't know
I'm
why,
gonna
but
go
as soon
that
as you
far.
said that, I thought of like the memes where they have like them battling. And it's like a pole dance. Do you know? Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about.
Geonosis.
I don't know why that came to me.
The pole dance.
I'm
thing.
like, yeah, yeah, fuck. As soon as I think the way you said it, it triggered it. But anyways, I think it can be done well, especially if they use it kind of like. I don't want to be.
Sparingly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word I was looking
You don't
for.
want an hour episode.
No.
Hayden Christian being like, "Over here, Obi-Wan."
Yeah, and just like his fucking voice. Oh God, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Hayden
Hayden's
Christensen.
voice.
Yeah,
Why?
because he just always sounds like he's in distress, especially the way that we saw him in the prequels. He's just so whiny, and I just
That's
affiliate.
Darth Vader.
I just affiliate that so much, like to that actor because of the prequels, and I feel like who knows? Maybe I could see the series. It's like wow, they like redeemed that. I don't know, that portrayal of that character, but who knows? Like I said, I'm a little in the middle. I'll just have to wait and see what happens. But I can see them doing like maybe obviously flashbacks of Hayden Christensen, how he was as Obi-Wan's Padawan, like maybe with that style of hair, because maybe he's just seen him like before. What are you laughing at?
I thought you were gonna say like they're using his hair to like hide that Hayden Christensen is clearly aged like 15 years, so it's like.
I was even talking,
master, and his like hair's always in his face, and you can't see it.
I was talking like the Padawan hair though, with his little braid.
But you'd have to de-age him, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm not throwing that off the table though.
40-year-old
I think
Hayden
I think
Christensen.
I think it's fairly possible they do de-age him because he is
old.
He has to be getting up there.
He has to be at least 40.
That's
No,
my
he's got to
guess.
be at least like early 30s.
Early 30s.
Oh yeah,
I'll say
100%.
Dude, I'm in my early 30s.
No, you're not.
No,
Why?
I'm not. But like I could see them like portraying him as the Padawan version, because that's when he saw him as just like this pure innocent being, right? And then also maybe have like a twist where maybe he just sees Anakin Hayden Christensen as
He's
just
39, early 30s.
he's in his early 30s.
He's
yeah.
about to be 40. He's a day away from being 40. No.
What's his birthday?
April 19th.
Oh, okay.
But he's from Vancouver, don't forget.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Canadian.
Fun fact of the day.
Yep.
Shouts out to Canada.
Yep.
That's our staple on the prequels right there.
I'm so happy.
But I can see them just using like different looks for Anakin. Maybe so it's like Obi-Wan kind of just sometimes he's tripping out when he's like fucking burnt and crispy and like he's having like a nightmare or something, or then he's actually just having like a conversation with him when he's like the innocent form, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see them do that route. I can definitely see it having some Vader in there, but I just feel like it's unlikely for if they're going through the effort of bringing him back to just have him as Vader. It just doesn't make sense to me.
How do you feel if they dress him up as like Annie Skywalker? Like he's playing the little boy.
They like CGI Hayden Christensen's face on like a little boy.
You see set photos. No, you see set photos, and he's on his knees, like walking around like a little kid. And Hayden's just like, I fucking hate Star Wars. They told me it's gonna be different this time. And it's worse. No, get on your knees, there, kid. We're gonna.
George is on set.
Yeah, we're gonna do great, Hayden.
I love his George voice. It never gets old.
Again. Where's the green screen? How do you feel about? Because this has been a big contention. Because I'm the same as Taylor. It's like I people know me. I love fucking visions. I love like all weird stuff. I love PTSD. That's why I love Logan. I love all that type of stuff. But I'm always the one that's like kind of still against. I don't know if I want Obi-Wan to actually leave Tatooine. In my head canon, it's always been like he got to Tatooine and he stayed. Some people are like, well, he could have side missions. I get it. That's just not really for me. So how did you feel about? Because some people have pitched, what if this series is about him finding out that Vader is Anakin and he's going to go one more time to try and take him down because he didn't finish the job last time, which he just clearly should have. Not because he's a bad person, just because it would have been a better person if his friend, who was fucking a person he considered brother, who was dying a slow, painful death, it would have been much better just to go over there and headshot him. But no, he's just like, you're my brother, Anakin, and like, and just like he walked to his ship,
melting away.
He walked to his ship while his brother was melting and screaming the worst things ever.
To counter that,
No,
so
there's no counter.
No,
Obi-Wan's a piece of
no.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what I'm countering. I'm countering the fact that him leaving Tatooine to go finish the job doesn't work, because why didn't Yoda leave Dagobah to go finish the Emperor?
Because Yoda's a bitch.
It's just the
He
fact
lost
that
that fight.
He's retired.
Exactly. But
But Obi won
they
that
both
fight,
went
right?
into exile, right?
No, but look at that. Obi-Wan won against Anakin. So
No, he
goes,
didn't.
well,
He lost.
No.
Yeah, because Anakin lived and turned into Darth Vader.
But
and
that's
killed
maybe his
people.
motivation of like, oh shit, I didn't finish the job. He
Yeah.
won the duel, I'm saying. Where Yoda, he got fucking like seats thrown at him and fell down and ran away like a little coward and then stayed on
No,
Dagobah
that's
for
because
years.
Palpatine resorted to cowardice tactics.
Doesn't matter. He's a Sith.
It's a Sith way.
He just sits on an island for 20 fucking years. What a
He's in
lame
retirement.
ass.
Come on
An
now.
island? You talking about Luke?
No, Dagobah.
Oh,
It's
Luke
kinda
did
like
the
an
same
island.
thing.
Well, some people didn't like him being a bitch ass, right? That's exactly it. People complain about Luke like my Luke wouldn't do that. That's what Yoda did. That's what Ben did. I'm not getting in that conversation.
That's what Ray's gonna do.
Yeah. He's gonna be there with a big beard and everything like that. Fucking Force Ghost Kylo or Ben Solo. So how do you feel about some people have pitched that might be the plot is him going to get Vader.
I would not be happy with that. I'm not going to say what Taylor said and say that I don't want that, and I probably will love it. I don't want that, and I probably won't love it. I just feel like it takes.
180.
I just feel like that takes away from what happened in like the original, the first movie, A New Hope, right? When it's like this is the first time that he's seen his like rival since
former apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. Since that moment. And I just feel like that has so much weight to it. Whereas it's like, oh no, he actually did see him on a side quest on this side show that you have to watch. And it's just
Prequels, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So like for me, that would take away for a big time. And I definitely want to see him just on Tatooine the entire time.
Yeah.
It's easier budget wise, right? You don't have to worry about like space travel, going to these different locations. You can just have a desert area. So it makes sense logistically that way, as well as, you know, I just want some Tatooine adventures. It's probably like one of the most iconic planets in the entire series, and
I think it is. I think I'd say it's that, Dagobah, and Hoth. Those are like the three that are always, I would say, shut it out. Hoth, because that opening, like, I'm not counting the Death Star.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, I want to say Coruscant, but that's such a prequel thing.
Coruscant, yeah.
Tatooine's probably, I think, is the most visited planet in the entire saga.
Oh, it definitely is. Every franchise been there. Where Hoth, they didn't go back to fucking Hoth. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That would have been
It's
fun.
global warming, man.
They had a great thing in the comics,
melted.
which is why I hate the comics. They have a thing that they had Kylo Ren go to Dagobah and destroy Yoda's cave, which was really cool, but no.
I don't know why.
What does that
waste
even
your
make
time to do
sense?
that.
What?
You just go vandalize some old
No,
man's
they were
like
there.
He doesn't
crib.
even live there. Yeah.
You just like spray paints. Fuck Yoda.
It's just a power move, you know, because you know his Force Ghost is like, damn it, you know, like he's sitting there watching.
Snoke
it.
took him there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Took
yeah.
him this little
So
Ben
technically-
Solo
Fuck the
swamp.
comics. Like, what is this?
Palpatine took him there.
Are the comics good? Have you read them?
No, they're.
I know you hate
Well,
the
we're gonna
Kylo Ren
review
one
the
because
Ben
didn't they like
Solo ones.
ruin?
They never did.
We're
Well,
supposed to.
well, the Ben Solo one, I've only read
thought they
the first
ruined
issue.
it.
What?
I thought they ruined like Kylo's character. Oh no, the
I just think it was written poorly. The very first that comic book. I have not read the rest of them because that one just turned me off. He was just like, it's just what I feel that everyone wants Kylo Ren to be in this comic. Like it takes place like right after he gets like the thing happens with Luke in Last Jedi, right? Like the falling out. So it's a prequel, of course. And it's like he's just like, I'm stronger than ever. And it's just like I just don't think my Kylo Ren after he would, and that's again, it's my Kylo Ren. But I just the Kylo Ren they put forward in the movies, they say in Last Jedi like he's super scared at that moment. He doesn't know what to do. He strikes at Luke as just like a I got to get out of here sort of thing. But no, he's just like I've taken out Luke Skywalker. No one can defeat me. It's like. All right, like it's just I feel like it's what people want Kylo Ren to be, but he's not that badass character. He's him trying to be the badass, but I can't say I haven't read more, but that's when they made like the word Ren means lightsaber, so they're the Knights of lightsabers. Fucking lame.
that is lame.
And like in the comics, they also make it so Kylo Ren's learned how to float, which doesn't make much sense because in Rise of Skywalker they throw him off this thing. He doesn't float; he climbs his way up. So hashtag
How do we
canon,
know? He could have floated up there. We
he
just
didn't. It
see.
showed him going like, so. And even then, when he hits that thing, when he goes, "Ow!" His last word in the fucking movie, he could have floated. So it's like, hashtag canon doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They don't give a shit about it. It's just them being wild.
Did Palpatine ever float in the movies?
In the movies?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Did he
float.
actually?
In Revenge of the Sith, he floated over to one of the platforms in the Senate area when Yoda was fighting him.
Is that a float or is that just like a long jump?
It was It was definitely slow enough to classify as a float.
And was he rising? Or is it
he
just
was
like
he was
gliding
going
down?
like this?
Was he a skyrocker?
It was literally like if you can remember like playing as Sidious in Battlefront, like the original Battlefront 2. It's
That's what
like
I'm picturing.
It's like that. That's
When he's like-
exactly it. Yeah.
So it's not flying; it's falling with style.
It's floating.
Floating with style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put my thoughts. We I have to of course talk about it because every time it comes up, this one's a bigger role. But I'm just ready for this series to get going because that's why I wanted to shout out the two other Star Wars things. And this is going to bring my overall question. Kirklin talked about it, but I was going to throw it in there, but I want his thoughts on Hayden. So there's two things that happened this week. The Bad Batch got announced. It's a spin-off series of Clone Wars.
Don't say it so enthusiastically. Jesus.
I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to throw you guys. And then also there's been talks of, Alden Ehrenreich, he's promoting.
I didn't even know of these talks. You didn't even drop that in the chat. You said the thumbnail. You're like Alden. I'm like, what about Alden? I googled that. I'm like, oh, look at all this
It's just
news.
it's so annoying. So it's just like, oh, we're gonna make a series about a movie that bombed. Good idea, Disney. Like, what the fuck?
Let's
are you
do
doing?
it.
So he was in an interview and they asked him, "What's your hashtag, Taylor?"
Yeah,
Make
what was-
Solo 2 happen. I got
It
the
would be
T-shirt.
Solo
and all.
too. So they asked him if a movie would happen. He says no, that's not in the cards. And they asked him if he'd play a role. Of course, he's like, oh, well, the story. No, he'll play the role. And then he's like, oh, I've heard some things about the character being used, but nothing concrete. So then after a bunch of, and there's been rumors for a while that they might do something with Solo, but then again, the B-tier scoopers started like dropping little hints and
the
whatnot that there
B-tier.
might be a series around Han Solo, not necessarily him, the main character, but that world. And then some people were just dropping random pictures of Amelia Clark and that character. So we've talked about, I think, a long time. We talked about like her maybe being the lead as far as Crimson Dawn. But I just want to ask, like, I'll start with Kirkland because I'm gonna go first. If any of this like excites you, because I just feel like after Rise of Skywalker, which I sometimes hate, sometimes like, never love. That's the title of the next James Bond movie. Sometimes hate, sometimes like, never love. I just feel like with this Bad Batch, which is just another animated show in the dark times between 3 and 4 about fucking clones, and then which Solo I did not enjoy. I was pretty bored by it. It's the safest Disney movie of all time as far as Star Wars. Them just talking about, we're possibly gonna do like a series about it. Maybe Maul and her in a series, sure. But I just feel like you have Marvel, who's just like right now. COVID hit them, so they can't release their movies, but they're planning. They got X-Men coming. They got Fantastic Four. They got Doctor Doom. They got all this great stuff. And then you got DC, who's just like, let's bring fucking Michael Keaton back. Are you going to bring out Christian Bale? Yeah, we might bring him back too. Okay. So there's all this stuff. They're just like fanfare. Marvel's planning. I just feel like DC, or I feel like Star Wars is just like, one has no plan, and two, it just like, there's nothing exciting happening with them anymore. When I think about 2015, that lead to Force Awakens and the after, and then even Rogue One, which I didn't love, just like that year, just like, man, Star Wars back. I can't wait to see. Even talking about like the comics again, the TV shows, like there's nothing. Mandalorian I'm excited for, but I'm not like overly excited for. I'm thinking this season's gonna be better than the first one. Obi-Wan is that one like Hail Mary that I am excited for, but I'm just like nothing's happening in Rogue Squadrons. I'm sorry, Tay, I don't give a shit about. Jedi Fallen Order was fine. It's a game that everyone blows way too much. It's just a decent game because EA finally made a good game. People are like, this is amazing. No, it's fine. I'm just not excited that much for Star Wars right now. I want to be excited, and that's why I'm going to throw to you, Kirkland. Like, obviously, you can talk about Solo and the Bad Batch thing, but like, are you excited for like? What's your hype on Star Wars since Rise of Skywalker? That was the last thing we got. And then
that's a good I don't know, statement, I guess, because I definitely feel the same way. Because I mean, it just doesn't anything since like the lead up to Force Awakens, which is like the first time we're seeing a continuation of like the original Star Wars, you know, in our life, like just since it started. Like that was just I think that was the peak of my hypeness. Cause I mean, Last Jedi, pretty controversial film. And then Rise of Skywalker, I agree with you. There's definitely, I feel like the more I've watched it, I've liked it a little bit less, but I still enjoy it, but that's just personally, I like the stuff that was in it.
Would you say, because I heard this thrown around, I'm not going to say I agree, maybe I agree. Would you say it might be the most forgettable out of the new trilogy? Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker.
Because I feel like that's some of my problems with it is just like, I remember this stuff, but I'm just like, oh, right, that happened. I think it's also because it's half a remake of Return of the Jedi, so it's just like that movie over again. It's another Death Star. Yeah. Kylo Ren turns good.
I can definitely see your point. I might go back and forth between Last Jedi and that one because there is certain scenes that stand out to me that I won't forget. Fucking Reylo kiss. Come on now. Yeah. Can't forget about that.
But then they killed them.
They killed him, but then when if I compare it to Last Jedi, that throne scene with like the red, like I'll never forget that scene. That was just visually beautiful. So, but I definitely see your point. I can definitely see why people would be saying that. Maybe I would agree with you on a certain day. Maybe not today though.
We'll do the commentary track in December for Rise of Skywalker, so we'll revisit then.
So. But yeah, I think I do agree with you though. Like, especially how you're comparing like the different studios and what they're doing, and just the moves that Disney's been doing with Star Wars. Like, I feel like it's just kind of been on this decline, right? Yeah. And like, it's not even just us. Like, if I talk to certain people at work about Star Wars, and like some people have like their Force Awakens shirt or whatever, and then I'm like, oh yeah, do you like the series? He's like, yeah, I'm not into Star Wars anymore. Kind of like I'm not a fan of what Disney's been doing with it. And like
there's a lot of people. I always thought it was just people because Liam was the first one I ever heard of. He said he'll never watch Star Wars again after Last Jedi. He won't even watch Rian Johnson movies. I always say that's a much.
That's a
but he was the first one. And I do feel I hear more people that are genuine, not just like the trolls. More people that are just like I just don't like what they're doing. I don't know if it's just like because you have a small audience of that with Marvel. Some people go, oh, it's too Disneyized. That's fine, but I feel like that's a pretty small minority. Where the Star Wars films, it feels like it grows more and more, and it feels like it's hurting the brand a little. bit.
No, I agree with that statement for sure, and it is sad because Disney's like the superpower of the world. Like they have their hands in so many things, and it is unfortunate when they take something that's like Star Wars that everyone, I mean, I'm not gonna say everyone, but like a lot of people, it has a strong place in their heart. And I totally lost my train of thought. You brought up
Soul or Bad Batch. Obviously, you didn't watch Clone Wars, so you're not gonna watch Bad Batch.
Can you explain to me what Bad Batch is? Because I haven't looked into it.
Taylor.
Yeah, thank you.
So the Bad Batch is
little
basically
smirk listeners, like he's gonna like blow Kirklin or something.
He's gonna win me over here.
Yeah, you're gonna come
Do your
on the bus.
Do your Dragon's Den pitch here, and I'll let you know if I'm in or not.
So we're looking for $750,000 for 30% of this.
And what's the series called?
Bad Batch.
I'm out.
So yeah, basically, all clones are cloned of Jango Fett, right?
Yes.
So
Check.
obviously, some clones don't always come out like they're supposed to. They come out sometimes
That's
a
not
little
obvious
mutated.
because if you haven't watched the series, that's not explained in the movie.
I know, but I'm leading into that though.
But you saying obviously is
Because any form of
Come on
like
now.
genetic mutation or clone is gonna not always be perfect.
This
Some
has to be
result
crisp.
in-
This is
I
your
will-
Dragon's Den pitch.
Oh, I know.
Shark Tank.
I will just say right now, not once has it crossed my mind that there'd be a defect clone.
Really?
See?
Literally not once has that ever
Really?
crossed
Like
my mind.
unstable or
I've just
something like
assumed
that?
it's Star Wars, man. It's like the futuristic. They just have everything down packed.
I didn't either, and I didn't. This is not meant to be a joke. They introduced in the series, like I don't know, season 2 or 3, and he's like a janitor, one of these defect clones. But I thought it was a special needs character, so like they play him up for humor. And I was in the episode, I was like, this is really offensive. Then Taylor told me, oh, it's like a defunct clone. I still think they pushed the line a little bit, but that's what some of them can be like.
Well,
like,
it's just like you have this strand of DNA, and this is something they explain in the Clone Wars. Obviously, is that they can only stretch.
retrospective.
They can only stretch.
Obviously, yeah, you love that.
He's doing the
should put that on a
assumption
shirt.
close. He's like
Obviously.
assuming I'm already in it.
You're not gonna like this counter offer, my friend.
So the stretching of the DNA genetic code can only be done so much because they state in the show that they can't get more because Jango Fett's died and they can't keep
Obviously.
recreating. Obviously,
That's
So-
an
I didn't know
obvious
that.
one,
yeah.
I didn't know
So it's
Where were you in Attack of the Clones? He got his head cut off.
Okay, I know he died. I didn't know they just couldn't make his
I mean his death, obviously.
like. Why
Obviously.
can't they just clone him off the clones? They have his same DNA. Obviously, don't
It's
do the
watered down,
janitor.
though. Watered
Obviously,
It
don't
is
use the
watered down.
janitor.
It's like
version.
having
Source.
it's like having sex like inbred like family. It kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't
it
do that anymore.
Waters down your genetic code, right?
Obviously.
Obviously.
Since it got outlawed here in Kelowna last year.
So
Because of the defunct clones.
Yeah, because I got masturbating on the bus. That was my dud.
So
What's
the
your
Bad
what?
Batch, basically, what'd you say?
Dad,
You said dud. That was my
Dud.
dud, like my crappy
Yeah,
copy.
Speaking of this English today.
Okay, sorry.
Um,
Carry on.
So the Bad Batch is essentially clones that were born that had very desirable traits, not negative traits, I guess you could say. So
Testosterone.
What, yeah.
yeah.
What are some examples?
one of
other
them,
than
his name is like Wrecker, and like he's not all there in the head, like he's not super intelligent, like as most normal clones are, but he has a lot of super strength, like he's jacked and everything. And then there's other ones, like there's one guy who's like he's kind of scrawny, but like he's got like super hyper like vision, so he's an amazing sniper. There's another guy who's like super techie, and he's super hyper intelligent. And there's another guy who's just like their leader, and so they're all kind of just like clones that were genetically.
So what's the leader like? Like what's his perfect
I
trait
can't
as a
remember
leader?
what his trait was. I have to rewatch it.
Leadership.
Leadership, yeah. But he had certain qualities, but like together as a unit, like they're super cool to see in action. And I think that them like post Order 66. Well, I'm not gonna get into it because you're still explaining it, but that's the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I'll go into my.
So
after.
the Bad Batch is this crew. It's not just like a name for defunct clones. It's Wrecker.
just these clones.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so it's gonna be an animated series or a movie.
It'll be an animated series post Order 66. They're gonna be like
Yeah.
adapting smugglers and just kind of make their way after. Order
Yeah,
66.
I'm basically like year 2 Travis watching the Clone Wars right now, where I'm just like so uninvested in it because I am in those early seasons and those are pretty rough to get through. You yourself have even admitted that. So I will get through it one day. I know, just from hearing the offhanded things that you guys have said, or some of my friends talking about like the stuff that they've done with, and I'm not even going to speak on the characters because I'm not going to know what I'm talking about, but it's definitely caught my appeal that I do want to catch up. So is this going to be like directly following Actually, I've asked this question before, and I think I was wrong because Rebels isn't a sequel to Clones, right? It's like another thing.
It's its own thing, but it is a sequel.
They make it seem like it's its own thing, but then they tie it in and bring a bunch of Clone Wars characters, etc. So no, that's a bad thing. But that's
so is this going to be like the Bad Patch, just another version of that?
Bad Patch?
Bad Patch.
The Bad Patch.
Patch.
I'm catching what you had.
Yeah. So honestly,
we did.
you could watch for Clone Wars. If a lot of people don't want to like deep dive into Clone Wars, get to know the characters, you could honestly just get away with watching the last season. Although you'd probably miss a lot about like the characters' backstories, but specifically for the Bad Batch, you could just get away with watching the 4 episodes in the final season of the Clone Wars because they're not in anything else in the Clone Wars. So watch their story arc, and then you go right to Bad Batch when that releases.
I think it'll be standalone. That's the thing that shouts to Kyle. He's watching Australia. He says morning news.
Hey, Kyle.
Let's go, Kyle.
How's it going? I think it's gonna. That's my thing of the series. I just don't think it's gonna have much consequence. I feel it's gonna be a bunch of filler episodes. I know the tagline, and you people love clones, you Taylor, and a bunch of other Star Wars weird people. But it's
you
just
said
like
me, Taylor.
No, you. I don't know.
You said you, Taylor. So I thought you
specifically referred to you.
You
Kirklin.
Taylor. I did, but I just feel like it's okay. How do they deal with the Order 66? It's just like I don't care.
We're not gonna get that. It's just gonna be like
literally the tagline is how they deal with the aftermath of Order 66.
Aftermath, yeah.
Okay, same fucking deal. And where they lie,
I
they lie in the world. They already tackled that in Rebels. They already, as far as what I'm watching, when they bump in the clones, they already talked about their experiences. So I don't need the Bad Batch. It just feels like, again, why are we always stuck in this fucking 3 to 4? Why are we always stuck on the dark times? Why can't they do anything else? They did Clone Wars, which it was Anakin, Obi-Wan in the series. Why can they not do a fucking Luke, Han Solo, and Princess Leia after Return of the Jedi series? You can lead up. You can have young Kylo Ren born. You can do all this fun stuff.
It's a great question.
I don't get the movies are over now. I get why before you couldn't, but like, and even the Rebel sequel series, maybe it happens, but now it feels like that's gonna be more live action, right? So if they're gonna be in Mandalorian season 2, that's done, and this is just our animated. It's just like. I get people like the clones, so I understand. I hope there is more. It's just I'm just so sick of this time period, and I am sick of clones. I've had enough of clones. As someone that doesn't really like them that much, like they have some good episodes, but I want some Jedi, or I want a character like a Han Solo that I could follow and see their adventures. I don't care about these characters that don't mean anything, and that's why obviously like comic books, they can't hurt your characters, but at the end of the day, at least I'm invested to have something. So I don't know.
You said you want a Han Solo where you can follow and see his adventures, because they did a movie about that, I'm pretty sure.
They what?
Oh, he's fucking doing his bullshit.
They made a
See, you catch on quick now, at least.
I know.
Was that a fan
fucking
film?
on point.
Was that a fan film?
My trigger.
When did they come out? But no, I meant like the after Return of the Jedi, something like that.
I'll double up honestly on your comments there. Like I definitely feel like they need to move away from this time period. Like I'm not in like the now and all those forums for Clone Wars. Are people asking for this? They're like, fuck yeah, I've been waiting for the Bad Batch.
There's a lot of people excited for this.
Okay.
I would say it's very 50-50.
Oh my God, the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. I actually remember what I was going to say earlier too, so I'll kind of tie it into just my thoughts on this. How like the whole era that they're using, like I feel like it's definitely getting diluted. Where if it wasn't already, it definitely is now. Of just they try to just stick in this time zone, or this time era rather, for Star Wars, when there's so much to Star Wars. When is Disney gonna like get some balls and fucking do something that's out?
Balls.
Yeah, they don't have balls.
They got hot tub old man
every
balls.
single time they're making a movie now, specifically for Star Wars. It's those safe picks, right? Like we got. Like what you already mentioned with Solo, like that was their safest movie that they could ever done. Do something dark and gritty. Bring me something from the Old Republic. Like give me some stuff like that.
Okay, first of all, Rogue One's not that dark and gritty because they reshot to make it not dark and gritty. Because
they killed everyone. So
but the Vader scene was apparently worse in the original cut in a good way. So, Rogue One is safe in the sense of it's still in that time frame. It's still in that 3 to 4. Like,
but like we didn't know back then because that was the first thing in that.
I know,
time
but now
frame.
in retrospect we know.
Yeah, you can say that now, but it doesn't apply because we didn't know
does because
back
we look
then.
at all the evidence. If you beat up Kirklin 3 weeks ago and then tomorrow he ends up dead, I'd say, oh, well, you beat him up 3 weeks ago. You can't go, yeah, but I didn't murder him then. But now we
Yeah,
know.
but someone could have slipped into his house and slit his throat or something.
No,
Not
but we
that's
know
gonna
for a
happen.
fact you
I don't want
killed
that to
him.
happen.
We know so we would have said,
How do you
oh,
know
look,
for a
I don't
fact,
like this
though?
example.
So we would have been like, hey, look, 3 weeks ago he beat him up. Clearly, this is a pattern for Taylor Field. He has to go to prison. That's what it is. Rogue One at times like, this is great. It's about the plans. But now it's like, looking back, it's like, oh, it's another 3. Like,
No, I think it would be more like we're just roughhousing, and then 3 weeks later, these other people come in and just kick that.
We were playing Nightcrawlers. It got a little physical. Not out of ordinary, you know, if you're an avid Nightcrawlers player.
So, yeah, Taylor, you're excited for this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I am going to jump on the bandwagon with you guys because Disney needs a fucking set of duos. So they...
what?
A set of duos.
Duos don't
Can you
call
elaborate?
duos.
Yeah, 2
Come
pine
on.
nuts and a twig.
Oh, boy. I don't want to be that guy that says, oh, Kathleen Kennedy. But whoever's making decisions, if it's her
A penis,
getting decisions
Kirklin.
from
Okay.
other people or her making decisions, there has to be a change. There has to be a leadership change. That's the way, look at DC right now. Look at when Justice League came out in 2017. I still wrote Suicide Squad in this as well. They're having a shit few years, and now they're on the up mend. They got Justice League Snyder Cut coming. They're doing a Flashpoint movie with Michael Keaton. People are excited. People want to see DC stuff again. You know what happened? A change of leadership. This is what we need.
I agree, and I don't
We
hate
need John
Kathleen.
Favreau to take the wheel and do his business.
Honestly, if you put John Favreau working like with Dave Filoni as a secretary, I think the two of them can literally whip up some amazing
Dave
stuff.
Filoni is a secretary.
As a secretary.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So
You used to run Clone Wars. Guess what? You're his secretary, not co-partner.
So
secretary.
He's a
well, I was
phony
gonna say
anyways.
co-partner, but I knew I'd get hate
Yeah,
from the
Dave Filoni is
Travis
a
guy
phony,
over
phony
here.
Filoni.
So
stick to your desk, Filoni, and I throw like an apple at him.
I think that in this sense, like if I was a CEO of Disney,
Oh,
just
dear.
straight up Disney, I would go in to speak with Kathleen Kennedy on the whole Star Wars thing. I'd be like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. So I would have done this before Last Jedi would have popped in. So I would have been, okay, we got Rogue One and Force Awakens. These are 2 great films. Okay, we're going to scrap the Han Solo movie. Instead, you're going to give us like a standalone like Knights of the Old Republic film. On top of that, like, yeah, keep Mandalorian coming. And then for animation, yeah, keep the final season of Clone Wars coming. Don't do Bad Batch. As much as I would like it, don't do it. And probably do an animated series specifically either on Vader during the Dark Times, killing and hunting Jedi. Or make that live action, one of the two, preferably.
I can't
live
see
action.
it being like a dark, gritty cartoon. I feel like, especially Disney, anytime they do a cartoon, it would be
Yeah,
like they wouldn't do like what is it, Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
No, they would.
Yeah.
So then
and
maybe
I don't think you would do. Yeah, I think if you're doing anime, you still got to make it somewhere towards kids. So you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
hunting
That's
down
like-
innocent Jedi.
That's definitely the main target audience for those shows,
Yeah.
right?
then
you could
that's
do a series,
probably,
but at the same point, it's just like we've had so much fucking Vader too. I like Vader, but he's had 6.
But that's why I'd
movies.
want to show another side, which is probably again like the live action sense would work better, like you said. So it's more an adult oriented. So
Hayden, you busy?
I would want to see him literally like going through. Like I love the Obi-Wan series. I'm glad we got that, but I'd love to see Vader going through like these motions and actually tracking down these Jedi and hunting them down and killing them and getting into lightsaber fights with these Jedi. Instead of showing that in the comics, you know, the Darth Vader comics, they're very, very well done. I love how he goes off and he actually finds he hunts down a Jedi, kills him, takes his kyber crystal, and like goes to Mustafar, fights another like resurrected Sith Lord. There's so much cool stuff that he does.
Sorry, what was this in? I missed that.
This was in the Darth Vader comics,
Oh,
and I'd
okay.
love to see that live action because it would just be super, super cool to see. And
Yeah.
I do think that again with Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker that they should have pursued a different narrative where not have the First Order. Like I like how they brought in like elements of like the Katana Fleet. It felt like where that was in Rise of Skywalker, and they had certain like things from Legends. But I wish that they would have dived into like again go deeper into Legends. Bring in with the extended or the new trilogy. Bring in like Luke Skywalker's grandson, Cade Skywalker, who's like doing he's legit
name,
he's doing like drugs to stop like Force Ghost Luke from seeing him because his dad was killed by a new Sith Lord, and it's just this whole like wreck of a life, and he's just like
I
a
don't know if I'm with you on
smuggler,
all this.
pirate. Like there's so many cool different
There were
things.
some good things you were saying there.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not saying, see, this is why I think you know, you can have your opinions. That's great. That's all we're about here. But this is where I think you and some other fans get into of like, I'm not saying they had to go back and change every fucking thing. They got to rewrite the entire OG or the sequel trilogy.
Would you take an old Republic film over Han Solo, or would you take the Han Solo? Because that was my biggest pitch.
What do you mean?
We're
by
going
Han
back
Solo?
like 6,000 years ago. They're scrapping the Alden Ehrenreich Han
But
Solo
you're
movie, and we're
saying
getting
Old
Revan.
Republic instead of Harrison Ford coming back? Because no, I don't.
No, Alden's movie.
Well, I would just get rid of Alden's movie for nothing. I would have let them donate that money to charity.
I feel like yeah, there you go.
That would have done more than the Solo movie, and the Solo movie lost money too. So
It did, but that's the thing. I feel like they've laid out this whole game plan of all the movies that we were supposed to be getting and
I don't
everything.
think they did.
They did because they were like, we're gonna
Did
get
they?
these movies and we're gonna get standalone anthology films in between, and we're gonna have all this other
Is that a
setup.
game plan? Is that just saying that? Where's the Game of Thrones guys trilogy? Where's Ryan Johnson's trilogy?
But
Where's
all
Kevin
that went out
Feige's
the
movie?
window when Last Jedi and Han Solo came out. That's when they went into panic mode, and so much like reshifting and reorganizing happened, and it's horrible.
So, but here's the thing: they reshifted and reorganized. So they are doing this thing where they are doing the sequel trilogy, then an anthology movie, which was all Dark Times. What have they reshuffled other than Rise of Skywalker? They threw JJ in there, changed some stuff. They're still doing the whole every show's the fucking Dark Times. Mandalorian, I'll give you.
They are, because that's them playing it safe because they're scared because so many people
turn there. Han Solo was safe. And it lost some money. So why are they playing it safe?
I don't know. When Han Solo came out, I don't think they were. They didn't put that movie out saying this is going to be a safe move. I think that they just put it out and then they realized it's looked at as this was a safe play, and that now they're sticking with we're going to stick to these Dark Time stuff because they feel we need to be safe but still put out content.
Well, when they were safe though is when the fucking guys who produced Spider-Verse, Lord Miller, were directing the movie, and then they booed them off the movie to bring old Ron Howard back. So that's where maybe they didn't think when they were making it, but when they released it, they had to know that because they had these guys who made Spider-Verse, who had 21 Jump Street. There's many rumors. People say that it was maybe very parody-ish, like Han Solo. But it's tough, right? Because I don't know what
Ace
I read.
Ventura, Han Solo.
Those were some of the rumors, and that apparently what some of the rumors, which wouldn't be good for directors as well, is that apparently they met. They're like, oh, this is what we want to do, and the directors agreed. But then apparently, behind Disney's back, they're making a different movie. So I don't support that, and that's not great either. And I don't know what I'd rather take.
Do it.
Would I rather take? It's tough because these are the guys that produce Spider-Verse, so it's I see that. But would I rather take the safe Han Solo, or would I take the really over the top Han Solo? I don't know. Again, I just didn't want Han Solo in general. I don't think we need that prequel movie. It's the same way you can have Joaquin Phoenix play the Joker, but I wouldn't want someone to be we're gonna make a prequel about Heath Ledger's Joker. I wouldn't want that because right away you'd be
that's true. Yeah,
that's too tough.
That's a good point.
It's the same thing with Harrison Ford. So I feel like that's safe as far as they were going with a character that everyone knows and loves, and is a part of the top three. It's the Trinity, right? So that's why I still feel like in Inception, it was a safe movie. We're gonna make a Solo movie, and again, it's in that Dark Times. I hate the Dark Times. I hate that.